welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Luray, Virginia, and we're going to take a look at Luray Caverns. And there is so much to see and do here. Came here just to see the caverns, but didn't realize that they had so many more attractions on their property. There is a museum, an historic car collection, a heritage village, a toy exhibit, even an adventure park, and a garden maze. Again, lots of stuff to see and do. I'm going to take you all around and show you everything there is to offer. If you have never been to this part of Virginia, be prepared for a beautiful scenic drive, and parking at Luray Caverns is free. At the start of this video, I rattled off several attractions, and believe it or not, most of them are free. They're included with your cost of admission. Expect to pay around $35 for an adult and $16 for a child. If you're interested in wasting both your money and your time, then pose for this photo, which you'll pay for at the end of your tour.
Is it real? Yeah.
What you see right now is what you'll first see when you enter Luray Caverns. And depending on your pace, it could take as long as an hour, maybe longer, shorter, depending on how much you want to spend time looking at different things. Now, we were there in the middle of August, which is their high season. And as you can see, it's not very crowded. Throughout Luray Caverns, you'll see these placards. These placards will have numbers along with a photo of a headphones. This gives you the impression that there is an audio tour available along with your self-guided tour. However, the audio self-guided portion tour has since been discontinued. Instead, they provide experts throughout the caverns to provide you information to help highlight and explain exactly what you're looking at. When I was there, it was in the middle of August and it was 80 degrees outside. However, when you go into the caverns, the temperature drops and it gets into the 60s. I had on a t-shirt and I don't recall it being a problem for me at all. A lot of folks in there had on t-shirts, but just remember, it's about an hour-long tour. So after a period of time, it's gonna get awfully cool. In just a moment, I'm going to kill the music so you can hear an organ that was there. This is what it sounds like. The only challenge I had is, I wished it was a bit louder, but here's what the organ sounds like. Earlier, I mentioned it was about $35 to come here. Well, is that too expensive? Well, I talked a lot about other things that are available that are included with your cost of admission. So the big question is, is it worth it? Well, overall, I think it's priced just right. Not just because you get the caverns, but you get all of these other things added on to it. Now we're going to take a look at those so you can know exactly what to expect. This is where you pay for that photo I told you not to take, and this is their main eating establishment. Didn't eat there, so I can't say anything about the food. I can say though that they have fantastic fudge and chocolate chip cookies, and they're right next door in this gift shop area, and they are absolutely fantastic. I want to start off by saying that I am not a car enthusiast. However, this right here is absolutely beautiful. There are pristine automobiles here from way back when to the original Model T and up to the 30s, 40s, and even 50s. And these cars are in pristine condition. They are absolutely beautiful. While the historic car collection that we just saw is included as part of your cost of admission, this right here, which is the Rope Adventure Park, it's not. You have to pay for this separately. If you decide to do the garden maze, this is another thing that, again, you're going to have to come out of pocket for. Now, the good news is that the garden maze that you're looking at here is just an overview of what it looks like from the top, is not included. The Rope Adventure Park and the garden maze are really the only two additional add-ons. Everything else is included to include this museum, and it looks at, you know, old-time clothing and, you know, tools, and has a lot of displays and of course a little shop that you can buy stuff. But all of this right here is included in your cost of admission to see the caverns. Those of you who are familiar with my channel know that I specialize in fun and interesting things for folks to do in the DC metropolitan area. And one of the things I focus on is whether or not something is worth your money, and most importantly, is it worth your time? And we're going to answer that question now. If I were to boil Luray Caverns down in its most simple elements, it's rocks in a cave. That's it. I think that's gonna be appreciated far more by adults than it is for kids. But I think kids will find it interesting. I know mine sort of found it interesting, but they were far more interested in the Rope Adventure Park as well as the garden maze, not so much the cavern or the historic village. Now there is also a toy display. The toy display, my kids, you know, thought it was okay, especially if you like Legos, you're probably gonna think this is okay. For me, I didn't like it that much, you know? So for an adult, yeah, the caves, Luray Cavern Cave, as well as a historic village and the cars, that's gonna stand out, where for kids, you know, maybe not so much. Now, I understand why Luray added all this other stuff, because they wanted it to appeal to the entire family. And more than likely, with all the stuff that they have here, you're gonna find something that works for you.